Hey agency owners, it's John here, and in this video I'm going to give you my top 7 habits that have enabled me to be massively successful with my multi-million-dollar agency. If you've never heard of me before, my name's John Williams and I run a digital marketing agency with clients all across the USA, Europe and the UK, and we've scaled it to $1.8 million a year. And I've just started this new channel, Agency Overhaul, so that I can teach you guys to do the same. So the top 7 habits that have enabled me to be massively successful. Number 1, and this is probably the number 1 productivity hack that I've ever learned in my life. I paid $10,000 for a course, a coaching program back in 2019. And out of everything in this course, out of everything that I learned on all the group coaching calls, this one thing probably moved the needle for me in my agency more than any other thing. And that is turning all the notifications off on your phone. That tip alone has made me millions and millions of dollars. And out of everything in that course, it was worth the 10K alone just to learn that one tip, because it has been massively impactful. And when we talk about turning your notifications off on your phone, I do not mean putting your phone on do not disturb. I'm talking about going into the settings of every single app on your cell phone, Facebook, Instagram, your email, your text messages, everything, and literally turning off the notifications. I'm talking about there's no notification on the home screen of your phone, no notification on the home screen of your phone. There's no buzzing sounds, there's no vibrating sounds. There isn't even, like you get the little red bubble next to the icon that tells you how many unread messages you've got. There isn't even that. Like, I'm talking nothing, complete, total, and utter radio silence. The only way you know that you've got a message or a notification on Facebook or via email is to actually go into the app. Outside of that, nothing happens. Nothing. There's no sounds, no notifications, no push notifications. There's nothing. That alone has made me millions and millions of dollars, because it means that you do not get distracted. When you need to do the hard work, when you need to do the deep work, like, you can literally get your head down and get that done without any notifications, without the phone bothering you, without being interrupted. And what's awesome about this is that instead of being a slave to your agency's a slave to you. Most business owners operate in a reactionary or reactive manner. An email comes in, they drop what they're doing, and they suddenly got to put that next fire out. And it's this constant situation of putting out fires and dealing with the next problem. And you never actually get the things done that you actually set out to do that day, because you're always putting out fires. The phone's going off, an email's come in from a client, and then 20 minutes later a text has come in, and all the rest of it. But by turning all the notifications off, you don't get any of that. You get to choose when you answer your emails. You get to choose when to reply to your text messages. You get to decide. You're in control. So if you need to get that landing page built out, you need to get that funnel built out, you can get your head down, you can get it done without being interrupted. And then once you've got it done, then when it suits you, you can go and get on top of your emails and your messages and put out all the fires. And that, for me, turning the notifications off on my phone has been an absolute game changer. My second habit, which has been huge for me in terms of growing and scaling my SMMA, my agency, has been to clear the decks before you start the day. So a lot of entrepreneurs and agency owners will say, don't check your emails, or don't do like the boring stuff till like later on in the afternoon and all that. And I absolutely agree with that, like 100%. You want to do the things that move the needle forward first. Absolutely. Goes without saying. However, I'm a little bit, not massively, like a little bit OCD. And when I wake up in the morning, like, if I haven't at least kind of checked my messages and emails, I can't really kind of relax and concentrate on doing the big stuff, just in case there's like an important message or something important that's gone on and I haven't seen it, maybe something critical to the business. So what I tend to do is I wake up at like 6:30 every morning. The first thing that I do before I even get out of bed is I open up my phone and I just clear the decks. I just get on top of the emails, the Facebook messages, the notifications, the Instagram messages. Typically, I might have 50 emails. But because I've scaled my agency and we've got a whole customer services team and all the rest of it, I guarantee you that probably 45 of those emails are probably just junk and they can just go into the bin. The remaining 5, 2 of them, 3 of them might be just emails that I've been copied into that I just read and don't have to really do anything. And the last 2 might be actual emails that I actually need to action. So I'll go ahead and I'll just answer those on my phone right there in bed. And then moving on from that, I'll open up Facebook. And again, I might have 5 or 6 messages. 3 of them I might just be able to just give like a thumbs up in the chat and that's it, or drop a GIF in there. Likewise, Instagram and so on and so forth. That whole process takes me anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. And what that now means is that I'm starting the day with a clean slate. I've got on top of all the messages from my team, emails, Facebook messages. I've just closed all of that out before I've even got out of bed. So when I do get out of bed, 15, 20, 30 minutes later, I can really focus on the really important stuff with a clear mind, knowing that I cleared the decks. I'm on top of everything and I can just get really stuck in there, for the rest of the morning into that stuff that moves the needle forward. And that again is another really great habit that's really helped me. As soon as you wake up, just get on top of the day today, clear the decks. It's going to free you up then for the rest of the day. And like I said, in habit number 1, because I don't have any notifications on my phone, once I have cleared the decks, I'm not going to get bothered again by anybody emailing me or messaging me. I'll check on that like later in the day when I'm ready, when I decide to check the emails next. So I have that total control then once I've got on top of everything to actually move that needle forward, work on that important stuff without fear of being interrupted or distracted in any way whatsoever, because as I've just said, I don't even have any notifications on. Number 3, I would say, is basically have your day planned out in priority order and focus on the main things that will move the needle forward first. So what I tend to do is at the end of each day, I put the plan together for the following day. So, let's say it's Monday night or whatever, I'm coming to the end of the day, I'll sit down. I use a software called Asana. It's an amazing tool for managing your SMMA and creating tasks for your team, but also for yourself. It's a great way to get organized. And that's what I use. It's, like I say, it's completely free of charge. There's a mobile phone app. There's a desktop version. Again, it's completely changed my life. Go and check out Asana, Asana, if you've never used it before. But what I'll tend to do is I'll go into Asana and I'll build out the tasks at the end of the day for the following day. So let's say it's like Monday night. I'll sit down and I'll punch in the task for Tuesday on Monday night, and I'll build it out in priority order. So let's say on Tuesday, I want to be working on our client getting ads. That's the thing that's going to move the needle forward. It's going to get us more appointments. That'll be like the first thing. That'll be priority 1. And then let's say priority 2 is to record some more content like this, because that's going to, again, put our business out there. It's going to get eyes on our business. So maybe priority 2 then is to go and record some, content. And then maybe priority 3 is to, maybe do some outreach to some franchises or something like that might be interested in working with that agency. That could be, priority 3 on the list. And I will just build out in priority order the plan for Tuesday on Monday night, from most important to the least important. So when I wake up on Tuesday and I sit in front of that laptop, I've got my whole entire day planned out in front of me. I don't even need to think about it. It's all mapped out, and I just simply need to do the most important thing on the list first and work backwards. As long as I get through the key things that day, if I run out of time for some of the least important things, like, I don't know, sending an email to my accountant, it's not the end of the world if I don't get that done that day. I just move that on the to-do list for the following day, and just, at the end of Tuesday, make the plan for Wednesday. Most important things first, work backwards. And then I wake up Wednesday morning, I've got the whole plan mapped out for that day. I did it the day before, and effectively, I don't need to think about it. I just work my way through the tasks in priority order. And as long as you do that every day, and you just focus on the things that are going to move the needle forward first, the things that are going to have the biggest impact on your agency, do that first. Have a plan, have it mapped out in advance. And as long as you just work through the to-do list and you do that every day, rinse and repeat, I promise you, you will get to where you need to be. You will achieve your goals, your ambitions, and you'll get your agency to where you want it to be as well. Habit number 4, which has been massively important as well and made a huge difference, is don't take meetings until the afternoon. So effectively, don't take meetings until the afternoon. What am I talking about here? Basically, in the morning, that's when you you have the most energy, right? That's when you are at your most rested. And effectively, you want to use that energy to do the really like important things, as I've just said, the things that are really going to move the needle forward in your business. Content creation. It's going to get more eyes on your business, right? Outreach, ads, setting up ads, building funnels, all that creative stuff that really requires you to use those creative juices that you need to use a lot of that mental capacity for. You want to do that in the morning when you're most awake, when you're most rested, when you've got the most energy. So what I do on my scheduler, I don't take any meetings. I have zero availability till after like 1 p.m. So effectively, those morning hours are always reserved for doing the deep work. Sitting on a Zoom call, talking to somebody doesn't require that much mental capacity. Just do that stuff in the afternoon once I've got the important stuff done. So my next habit that absolutely has made a huge difference to my agency is to block off the morning on your scheduler and only take meetings in the afternoon. And again, from a productivity point of view, that's been huge in terms of like getting work done. Because if your schedule's open all day, the problem is somebody could schedule with you at 10, and then you've got 90 minutes break, and then somebody else schedules with you for a 30-minute meeting, at 11:30, and then somebody schedules with you at like 1, right? And so now the day's broken up, and every 30 minutes there's an hour break, and then there's another call, and then there's an hour break, and then there's another 2 calls, and then there's a 30-minute break, and then you've got another call. You never get any work done. So by blocking off that important time in the morning, it means that you'll always, every day have that time available to actually work on your agency, to work on your company and move the needle forward. Next one on the list is get some exercise and fresh air every day. I once read a scientific report that said that people that leave their desks and get away from their laptop at lunchtime and just kind of go for a stroll, even if it's just a walk around the block, when they come back to the office and they get back in front of their laptop because they went out for a walk, because they got some fresh air, they're 25% more productive than those people that don't leave the office at lunchtime. In actual fact, getting away from the computer, even if it's just for 30 minutes, can have a huge impact on your productivity as an agency owner. And so typically what I'll do in terms of like my daily routine, just to kind of give you like the 20,000 foot overview, wake up about 6:30, check my messages, clear the decks, whilst lying in bed. 7 o'clock, wake up, shower, get ready, sit down then in front of the computer, open up Asana, work my way through the to-do list, doing the most important things first, working backwards. Of course, as I mentioned, because I don't have notifications on, not going to be bothered at all by anybody. Work through the list, doing the priority stuff first. Come 12:30, I'll typically at that point sit down, have some lunch. That's normally like a sandwich, some fruit, some vegetables, healthy stuff. So I'll have lunch from about 12:30 to 1. And then at 1 o'clock, I'll go out for a walk around the block. Now that could be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. It depends on how busy I am. But I'll go for a stroll. I'll go and get some fresh air. And I'll come back to the office then, or I'll come back to my apartment feeling refreshed. I've got the blood flowing. My eyes are more refreshed. I've got away from the computer. I've had some fresh air. And I'm coming back feeling more energized. I've got that extra 25% in the tank. That then has got me set up to really crush it in the afternoon as well. And then in the afternoon, having done the really important stuff in the morning, in the afternoon, I'll start to do the less important stuff, the admin tasks that kind of go with running a business. That's just kind of part and parcel of being a business owner. I'll get through all the boring admin tasks, having done the important stuff in the morning, having had a break at lunchtime. And in the afternoon, as I said as well, I'll take any meetings and any calls. Getting some exercise and fresh air, again, is a great habit that I highly recommend to really get the most out of your day and to perform at the highest level as well. And speaking of performing at the highest level, make sure to recharge your batteries every day. This whole thing about the grind and the hustle, getting up at 3, 4 in the morning, working till 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, these millionaire habits, lifestyle habits that you see on Instagram, don't believe them. They're talking absolute rubbish. You will burn out. If you're up from the early hours until late at night every day and you're really, really, really pushing the limit of like what you can do, you will eventually burn out and you'll be useless and your agency will fail and your business is going to fail. Why do I say that? Because if you're working that many hours and you really are pushing things to that limit, that's going to come across to your team, right? Because you're going to be tired. And when you're tired, you're irritable, you're grumpy. And that's when you start snapping at your team members unnecessarily. That's when you're moody and you're a little bit off with them because you're so tired and stressed out all the time. And that's when your key team members leave you. That's when you start to foster a toxic culture inside your agency, and people that work with you leave because you're always tired, you're always in a bad mood, and you're always irritable, and nobody wants to work for somebody like that, period. Further to that, it's going to rub off on your clients as well, like they're going to start to notice it when you're talking to them. If you're exhausted, you're useless to everybody, and it's just a slippery slope downhill for your agency. To operate on the highest level as an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you recharge your batteries every single day. And it's important that you get rest. Getting rest, recharging the batteries, is just as important, if not more important, than doing the work. So for example, at the end of the day, like I start at 6, I finish at 6, 7 o'clock every night. It's a 12, 13 hour day. And I'm pretty tired by the end of it. When you've been going at it all day like that, of course, you're tired, man. So at the end of the day, 6, 7 o'clock, I'll sit down with my wife. We'll have a nice dinner. There's no notifications on or anything like that. So basically, no one's going to bother me. And we'll sit down, chill out, put some Netflix on, just watch TV or something for a few hours, read a book, maybe learn something, and keep growing your knowledge and growing your agency, but at the same time, recharging your batteries by just chilling in front of the TV, maybe putting YouTube on, or like I say, reading a book or watching a documentary, something educational on Netflix or something like that, and just completely switch the mind off, totally recharge the batteries, get a good night's sleep, get to bed before midnight, have a good night's sleep, so you can recharge your batteries and you can basically come back and do it all again the following day, rinse and repeat. And the final habit in the 7 that I'd like to give to you as well, when it comes to your team members, just have one meeting per week with your agency team. Having multiple meetings every day, every week, honestly, it's not the best use of your time. It's not the best use of your team members' time. It's really important that you hire team members that can use their own initiative, that can work autonomously. And so having meetings every day is just going to slow everybody down. One meeting per week basically is what I do. So on a Wednesday is the day when I will do, meetings with all the different departments, normally starting in the afternoon onwards. So the social media team, the ads management, the media buying team, the sales team, the customer success team. Once a week on a Wednesday, I'll have a meeting with each department. We'll talk about the previous 7 days. We'll make a plan for the next 7 days in the future, what we're going to do over the next 7 days. And that's it. Everybody leaves that one meeting with a plan for the week ahead, knowing exactly what to do. And then when I meet them the following week, like I said, we'll discuss what's happened in the previous 7 days, and we'll make it the next plan for the following 7 days. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what they need to do for the next 7 days. Happy days. And then just let people get on with it. If people have got questions, they can message you on Slack or Workplace or whatever. You can check in with them that way. But you really only need to be doing one meeting per week. And again, that's allowed me to have more free time and freedom as an individual, and it's allowed me to be more productive in my agency. So those are my 7 habits that have made me an ultra successful entrepreneur and agency owner. I highly recommend, if you're not doing it already, you implement some or all of these things into your lifestyle as an agency owner and an entrepreneur too. I promise you they will have a massive impact and you'll see big changes moving forward. And if you did like this video, guys, by the way, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button down below. And if you'd like to find out a little bit more about Agency Overhaul and how we can come into your agency and help you take things to that next level, again, head down to the description below where you'll find the website link and more information. See you on the next video. Cheers.